Hi, and welcome back to DIY with Jeannie. If this is your first time, welcome. It's nice to have you. I hope you like our content. If you are a repeat subscriber or a repeat visitor who hasn't subscribed yet, thank you. And if you haven't subscribed, if you would just hit that subscription button down there and that little heart, it'll let you know every time that I upload new content. It really helps me with my channel and my algorithms and helps me get more established. What we're going to do today is look at an unconventional material and use it to make a tote bag. So stick with me and we will go over how we put this little baby together. So many things are fabric, and these, a lot of the big dog food, chicken feed, cat food bags are made in such a way that they are woven. I don't know if you can see the weave on this. Yeah, you can. And because it has that weave, it acts just like fabric, plastic coated fabric. So what we're going to... Okay, what I did was I took our bag and I cut it open on the side, and I've cleaned the inside with Clorox wipes. I'll do it again. I'll probably do it a few times because it still smells kind of like cat food. But what we're going to do is take it, and yes, I cut the bottom open. And I know you're thinking, why would you do that? It was already sealed. Well, because I wanted the back to be outside up and the front to be outside up, and so this was the way I decided to do it. So I'm going to sew this side together. Move it where I catch just as little of that. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. That edge is going to bother me. So, rather than let it bother me, I will just remove it. You can hear the weave of it. And here shows it really good how that's woven together. So that's why sewing is good. If it were just that plastic that doesn't have a woven quality to it, it is not going to do exactly what you want it to do. It is going to act like a perforation and you're going to tear right through. So now I'm going to take this back, sew this straight line on here, like so, and then I will come back and show you. Actually, I'm going to sew it all the way around. I'm going to sew down and I'm going to sew across. Okay. But what yes, I'm going to do that. But first I'm going to, I only want to do it halfway here so that this actually is going to be my side. So when I get that, I'm going to roll this in about halfway so that the sides of the bag are still going to be the sides of the bag. So I will be right back and I'll show you that, and it'll make more sense. It really will, because that did not make any sense at all. Okay, so here is that seam, and what I've done was, once I sewed it, I laid it flat and sewed on top of it, and that's so that that seam will stay down a little bit better. But you see how hard it is to sew. I mean, this was a nightmare. It doesn't like to feed. I'm going to have a new needle after this. But it's okay, because, you know, as long as you know it. And the needles really aren't that expensive. It's just, you know, you live and you learn. So here's what I did. I rolled this so the side was more the side. And now we want to do our corners. Remember, we want a box down at the bottom. And so I was thinking about how big of a box do I want. And I think I want 5 inches. So I am going to cut 2.5-inch square. And see, it takes me right to that seam. 2.5-inch square here, so that we have a 5-inch block. And I am just using my scissors like a straight blade. If you have an X-Acto, use the X-Acto. I do have one. I don't know why I'm not using it. Probably because I'm not real sure where it is right this second. This would be so much easier than my scissors. Again, 2.5. 2.5. There we go. Always make sure you have a cutting mat below you. You could even get a small one at Dollar Tree. I mean, they're not huge, but they will work. I've used them. I use them a lot, actually, when I'm working on something small that I'm cutting. So there's that. Now we're going to go the other side. Do the same thing. 2.5. And I'm lining up the bottom line and the side line. So now I've got a 2.5 inch box. Here we go. That worked much better. Get those out of the way. Now we are going to go. This is so hard to work with. It's going to make a great bag because of that, but so flatten that bottom out and bring that center to this center. Very nice. It does not want to. So let's see. What I'm going to do is, and then we will play with that others so that it sits out straight. Probably just did not get it as square as I would like, and it's what it looks like. It looks like I got it a little off on this side. So we are going to wiggle it until we like the way it looks. And it looks about the same on both sides now. To put my clamp right in the middle and trim this piece, which was that side seam. I think what I'll do is go ahead and fold it over so it's a little bit more secure on that side, but it'll also make it even. So, go. On the other side. So this one worked out a lot better. See how much more even it is. Come on. Work with me. Well, it's still a little bit wonky. So what we're going to do here as well, we're just going to fold it over. Put our clips in. And what's really going to be nice about this is that you can just wash it right out. I am more than likely going to use it for, I teach vet tech, and I'm probably going to use it at school for animal feed, you know, to move when I'm going out to feed everybody. We have chickens, and next year we're going to add rabbits, and we have 2 different fish tanks, and so this will be a nice way to tote different things in and out of the building. So let me go and sew this. I'll sew those two, and then we'll come back and discuss how we're going to do the top. All right, I was doing the same thing, and I was having that same problem where it didn't want to, or it was giving me too much underneath. My tension wasn't right. And so first thing I did was what I should have done at the beginning, and I changed the fabric type. On my machine, it gives me choices on what kind of fabric I have, and I had it on fine woven cotton, and this is not fine woven or cotton, so I changed that, and that worked out much better. I got a much better seam on it that time. Well, that was the first try, but I sewed back over it, so that'll show you that I was having a lot of trouble. And then once I fixed it, there we go. So always remember, check your tension. You have tension knobs for a reason. Alright, so here is our bag. And a nice little square bottom, which we can make it stay that way, but right this second I'm not going to, because now we have to talk about the top. And in the top, what I want is, I want to roll over, but I'm going to put a knit handle inside that roller. So let me show you that real quick. Not knit, woven. So you buy it like this, and what we're going to do is, as we get it rolled over, we're going to sew it underneath so that it catches it, and then we will come back and sew it up and put a little square. So that way it will look prettier. There becomes a mom issue at that moment. So we're going to fold this over. And then I want to fold it over about a ½ inch. So here is my corner. So I'm going to want that fold over. I'm going to want that handle to go about here. Keep it straight. Clip on there. Now, remember, you have to make this handle to where it's the same side going in. What does that mean? That means that's the inside, inside, inside. There you go. So it's all, this side and this side are the same side of the handle. If not, it'll twist up on you, and it is not comfortable. Now, we have we have 4 inches, and I want about 4 inches to where this new side is. So I'm going to move it over just a hair more. So I want my handle to be the same distance from both sides. So there we go. So right here is where I'm going to sew that handle in. And that is the same distance on both sides. Now, as I go around, a little bit, and it lets me know where that little bit is, and then just keep folding so that we're going to get a nice hem all the way around. I'm doing that where you can't see it, it's way up in the air. So again, I've got this fold over and fold again. Well, crud. Let's stack these out, because I am going to need them. I've got it folded, and I want to fold it again. This side's a little different, so I'm not going to get quite as much. I'm not going to get the 2 folds on this side because it isn't. I kept 2. Because it isn't the same height, but I didn't want to shorten the bag. So there matches up with my other side. side. Fold it in. And we're going to put her there. Folding it over. And we have it all the way around. And so now I'm going to take and put my bag handle back on. So we've got our handles. I'm going to take and do a straight stitch right at the bottom of this fold where I have it. And just tuck it all in, make it all beautiful. Put a straight stitch along there. It'll grab our handle everywhere we've got it. And then what I'm going to do is fold back up and sew a little rectangle here, and I'll show you that when I get back. So it's just a matter of hemming that up, and then we will come back, see what I finished up, and finish our bag. I sew my side panels and bottom. I think that would be easier. You'd get a much cleaner line up here. You can see it wiggled all over on me. It did not want to go through the sewing machine. It would get up, it would slide backwards. Yeah. I love recycling. So let me start that a little bit again. I love the idea of recycling this material. The problem is it does not, this particular fabric, because this fabric does not like to, it's resistant to change. So the way it was at the beginning is the way it wants to be now. And that is not what I wanted from it. And so it was a little more difficult. Let's see how we've got our boxed corners, our boxed edges. It's now a proper bag that we can use to carry things around. Cut all my rando threads up here. It's not a little random. And that's because of the movement. But if you want to use a bag like this to do that, then just know that you're going to need patience. So here's our bag. Fold the sides in. So that we can fold it flat. Just like you would any other square bag. And our seam is right there on the edge, which is nice. So we got that. Let's fold forward. Down here to the bottom. Fold it in. And fold it flat. And there we go. There is our bag. I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. All the errors included. But, you know, if you just want to try something and you don't have the material for it, use something that you don't consider material. So now we have this adorable kit and caboodle bag, and it is ready to go. And it's easy to clean, so no matter what you do with it, it's going to be easy to clean up. And got our handles. I think it's cute. I think it'll be a big hit. But there you go. There is a bag out of material that is unconventional. So keep that in mind. Don't have to have specific things just because you want to try something. Try recycling. So I hope you liked the content. If you did, please hit the subscribe, hit the thumbs up. Let me know what you think about unconventional material. What do you think are other unconventional materials we could use? I have thought of a lot of different kinds, and I will tell you one thing that will not work, and it's not that it won't work, it's that it just is truly a humongous nightmare. And that's any kind of tape, duct tape, electrical tape, any of that, because as you sew through it, that sticky gets left on your needle, and eventually it gums up, and it is just a nightmare. So, hopefully you liked it. Give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe, and hit that little bell so you know every time we put a new content out there. And thank you very much. Have an amazing day, and hopefully we'll see you next time.